Well, we're finally going to get to Samhain next week. So excitement, here we go. You can't contain the excitement on here. By the way, this is the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. For those of you who think what the hell is going on, we are going to be reviewing NWA Powerr right now. I've called it NWA Powerr by the book. More on that a little bit later on. And I'm joined by, well, for those of you on YouTube, you can already see her, but the ones on Spotify, just about to hear her. My NWA queen, as she so kindly mentioned that she's got a queen top on. There it is, Miss Fiona Lachlan. Good evening.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Are you adapting to the Baltic British temperatures again?
Yeah, I'm used to it now. It didn't take too long. I mean,
Nah, it doesn't, does it?
felt as if I might have had to swim to work this morning with the rain being so bad. Yes, I'm very much back to, back to reality, so to speak. But I did manage to see NWA. Obviously, last week I watched it as I was coming home. I watched it fully this week as well. We're going to get into this. Like Samhain's next week. Finally, we get to
Really?
week
That's only what, 4 weeks late? 5 weeks late?
five, I think.
Five.
Yeah, it's been about a month or so since I recorded
Yeah.
it. So
26th of October it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so
and
just over a month.
yeah, and I believe it's going to be 4 weeks from what they
Okay.
posted out. So yeah, good. Finally, we get to see Samhain. But before we get to Samhain, we have to get through this week's episode of Powerr, which started with Aaron Stevens and Blunt Force Trauma talking about their, well, kind of ending the feud with Knox and Murdoch coming up
Hmm.
Samhain in a match where two things have to happen. Number one, the tag team titles have to be defended. And number two, Mr. Smalls has to be suspended in a shark cage. I've seen this before.
Looks very, very familiar.
Yeah, Dirty Don Mysterio done this quite recently.
Yeah.
Nearly fell out of it.
Somebody's been watching the old Fed, that's for sure.
Everyone has been very much watching the Fed indeed. Let's hope Smalls would probably be able to fit through it, though, wouldn't he? If he turned to the side, he could probably shuffle out of it.
Depends how wide the bars are. He's got a butt on him.
Fucking hell. Small, I didn't say nothing. I
Lots of squats. Anyone who does lots of squats is going to have a butt on them.
You're
Let's
trying
be
to get
honest.
out of it, Fee, and it's not working.
Mm-mm.
Well, I
Why
don't.
I don't have a butt, I do not squat.
Okay, well, I don't know. Again, you didn't hear that from me. Smalls. Anyway, moving on quite quickly before you get into more trouble.
Can I just say before we go any further, banger of an episode this week. I loved it. I thought it was great this week. Back down to 4 matches, just perfect for me personally. Anyway, for me that was spot on last night.
Yeah, I think 4 matches is where it should be every week. I think six is just a little too much, and you don't get enough. You don't get enough time to admire the matches and sit with the six. It's just not. There's just too less time. Although this episode was quite short this week. I know it was like 39 minutes when I loaded it up.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, they kick off with the champ, the man himself, Tom Latimer, against Grace Allen, who I've never seen before.
Race, is it Grace? Race Allen? I really struggled to catch his name, which is really bad because they didn't do the entrances.
No.
It's kicks off with the both of them straight in the ring, and that makes it quite hard if it's people that I don't know because there's no graphic on the screen. I
Well,
need a graphic. I'm getting old. Like I need a little bit of help with certain things. I thought it was is it Race Allen?
well, I've got Grace Allen written down here. That's what I've got. So maybe me and you are both, we're not that far.
Maybe we're both wrong, but he's from Dory Funk Junior's school.
Yeah, it's worth noting that the last couple of episodes have seen a couple of wrestlers from Dory Funk Junior School in there. This was interesting. Latimer always looked good in matches. I do love Latimer.
He did, but Alan, like, he came out fighting and seemed to be getting the best of Tom from an early outset sort of thing. And I was like, okay, I think maybe caught Tom off guard a little bit.
You think Latimer may have had one eye on Mr. EC3?
Yeah, I don't know, but I was a little bit surprised at the amount of offense that Alan got in.
He did. To be fair, in about a match that went about 6 minutes or so, he did get, I think, 2 or 3, it was 2 or 3 minutes of it, really half of it, really.
Yeah, and
That-
a big chunk of it outside the ring as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Which is, for glorified. I don't like to say the word glorified squash, but for what it was, he certainly got the well, didn't exactly get the brunt end of any stick, did he, in this?
No, not at all. And he even managed to get a massive sleeper on Tom at one point.
It's, and I was thinking, Jesus, because Tom basically said that this match was going to be a title match. He didn't have to put the championship up.
Yeah,
He wanted to do. He did eventually get the sleeper, and it's still the brighter side of suffering.
I love that.
It is the finish, which is great. He did win. Obviously, Latimer retained. I'm not saying I fully expected him to retain the match, considering with EC.
Absolutely. Like, no offense to his opponent, but you're not gonna put, well, I don't know. I can't see somebody that most of us don't know going over a champ, a world champ. It
No,
wouldn't make any sense to me for that to happen, but you never know what's going to happen, I guess. And
you
it
slowly
would
down.
certainly catapult him up a few echelons, that's for sure.
It would have done. It is NWA, and anything does generally tend to happen. But the commentators did make a good point in saying, Gali and Danny Dills were saying that if he did win, he would be the one that goes to Samhain. So at least they made it look as if the change may have happened. Should he had won the match? So
Yeah.
he didn't just fob it off, which was good. Now during the break on this one, they took us back to the number one contendership
Mm.
for the Burke. Now, those of you that watched last week will know Markova um, pretty much screwed out of the title by Tiffany.
Pretty well and truly screwed out of that, to be honest.
So she gets yet another chance to be number one contender. I know it's a bit difficult this time not to, argue it in this
I
case.
think this, yeah, I think it's fair that she stays in the title race, given what happened to her.
Yeah, I do as well. With this case, she's going to be going against Haley J and Kylie Page again. Sets is going to be in there. I do have a feeling that Mark Hover's going to win this again.
I think so as well. Billy's high on her, and he made that perfectly clear last night.
Oh, he did.
Perfectly clear last night. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Haley's got in store. And Kylie obviously is Kylie, and we know what she can do. So
Vicious little fucker. She is.
charming.
Sorry for my French. It's her birthday in a couple of weeks, actually. She'll be 21 in a few weeks. Cool.
I
Kylie,
can't
does
believe she's the same age as my daughter. That's nuts.
that make you feel old?
It really does make me feel old. Thanks for reminding me.
We're going to move on to the next match now, and I'm just going to change my background, and I'm going to leave this here because this is exactly what this match was. You can see. Now, you can't.
I'm big meaty man. Ah, that's amazing.
Um, it,
Oh,
it,
this was glorious. This was everything I wanted it to be. Absolutely everything I wanted it to be.
so, for those of you that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, this was the NWA men's tag team champion.
Get it right, World Tag Team
Oh
Championship.
my goodness, it's like working with Vince McMahon minus the sex allegations. Right.
Those belts, I adore those tag team belts. I think they are beautiful.
They are great. They are great in all seriousness. The world tag team champions are the championships are lovely. And Big Meaty Men is because it was
It
Knox.
literally was for big meaty men. Although Trevor is diminishing in size, you will notice.
Well, he diminished in size because his opponents, the Fixers, Legursky and Jay Bradley, are fucking humongous.
They are, but Trevor's quite clearly been doing something because I thought he looked brilliant. And he was up on the top turnbuckles and everything last night in this match. I'm like, go on, Trevor.
He was. He looks good. And so does Legursky, by the way. We got he
Yeah,
trimmed
Lugarski's
down
doing,
a
yeah, because
lot. I mean,
he's, what were they saying? He was down to 370 now?
I think so. I mean, he's still a brick wall. There's no.
Oh my God, he had some tan on him last night as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe been Morocco for a week with me. I didn't see him, but nevertheless, I mean, yeah, I did. This was exactly what you thought about. What you could imagine with four 300 plus pounders.
That is the kind of wrestling I like.
I mean, and there were some stiff ass shots in this as well. I mean, they weren't holding back, were they?
Mm-mm.
Was it?
Mm-mm.
There were some really, really stiff shots and some big time power moves as well. What?
And again, there was a lot outside the ring as well. And
Yeah,
a lot of falling off aprons and stuff. And when they're trying to get tags and bits and pieces. Few wee bits of shenanigans on this one.
there was, and also you made a note that Jay Bradley can move. I mean, he was.
Oh, he can shift. He can absolutely shift because Mike Knox took a fairly big proportion of the beat down in that part.
Yeah, I had that written down actually. That Knox took a hell of a beating
Yeah.
in this match. It was great. If you love big meaty men, this is one for you. Yeah. In the end, though, always the high low finishes the match off. Knox.
Such a simple move.
Do you remember who used to do it in ECW? The Eliminators. I'm sure New Jack and forget I can't remember who his partner was back in ECW. They used to do it, and it is a simple.
It's simple and so effective.
I,
So effective.
It is. I just need to go back to Latimer a minute. I don't know if you've seen the Twitter exchanges recently. John Layfield has come out and said,
I did.
now, if NWA want to book John Layfield and Tom Latimer, it would.
Yeah, basically, because sorry, I kind of butted in and was like, I did before you'd even finished what the tweet was. For those of you not watching, John Bradfield Layfield, John Layfield, JBL. JBL has basically came out on Twitter and was like, I've never won the NWA World Championship. I've still got a little bit left in the tank, pretty much. Or words to those effects.
And a clothesline from hell left in him. I think it was or a few clotheslines. I mean, he's been every. I mean, if you've been watching TNA, GCW, anything and everything in any American indie, he's rocking up and clotheslining people's heads off. Yes,
JBL versus Tom Latimer.
yeah, yes, please.
That's something I never ever thought would be a possibility, but you never know now.
Now you don't. He's come out and said it. He's laid those foundations. It's obviously up to Billy to see if it can. I know he's still under WWE Legends, but I'm pretty sure he can, he's showing up everywhere. So he should be able to put them on for Latimer, assuming, of course, Latimer is to check. Latimer is the champ come whenever. We'll find out in a few weeks. But anyway, Knox and Murdoch did get on the mic. Going back to the big meaty men,
They were so fired up.
they was about BFT and Smalls, and obviously Smalls got carried out in an ambulance the other
And
week.
they quite clearly called out Aaron Stevens. Like they've got, although they're taking on BFT, they've got their eyes on Aaron.
I wouldn't want to be Aaron Stevens, to be quite honest.
Aaron's not going to back down though. He's a gobshite. He'll shout back at them. You know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, Aaron's he's never short of a word, is he?
He is not.
It's the
He
one
is
thing with
not.
Aaron. Now part one now was Daisy Kill and Talos. Wow.
This made me giggle.
With their little rhyme and stuff about
This made me giggle. So apparently they went backstage after the last show and Daisy's ukulele had gone.
disappeared.
I wonder who could have done that.
More on that later, folks, because I am warming up the vocal cords again.
Oh Christ, here we go.
That will be for everyone's entertainment and amusement. Later
I'll
on.
warn you when to mute your sound, folks. Don't worry.
Listen, Simon Cowell might be watching this.
You do you, darling.
I'll do me anyway. Not literally. Anyway, moving on. Submission time on NWA.
This was something.
It was. Baron was back with his claw.
Without Jack staying at his side.
Yeah, which does prove to be a bit of an issue. We'll get into that in a minute. But Baron and Magic Jake
Who did not look too keen on being in the ring with Baron, let's be honest.
Right now, I don't think anyone wants to be in the ring with Baron von Storm, to be quite honest with
He's
you.
a bit of a maniac.
He is a bit of a
Slightly unhinged.
slightly. Slightly unhinged. I mean, it was a lot of this match was Dumas not wanting
Just
to
not want to fight, basically.
not wanting to fight. Yeah, that is the other thing as well. Didn't want to fight. He was very much
He
scared of
left at one point, didn't he? And he was like, I'm going home, I'm out of here.
it. But then he gets the chicken wing on Baron von Storm for quite a while
Yeah.
to this. And but Baron von Storm didn't submit. Then he gets the hat, which gets taken away, but he pulls something out of the hat. It was a trick. He pulled something
Because
out.
he's a magician. Of course he pulls something out the hat.
Of course he does. He pulls something out of the hat and then blinds Baron von Storm with whatever it was, rakes him in the eyes, or
I
does.
believe it was a playing card.
Ah,
I believe it was a playing card that he's raked across Baron's eyes.
wow.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it was.
And then poor referee Jared Fritz kind of spots that something's not quite right. He's saying to, he's sort of saying to Magic Jake, I've seen something. He said, no, no, no. And he goes over to Baron von Storm to see how he's doing. And unfortunately for Jared, Baron von Storm can't see and puts the claw on Jared von Storm. I was going to say that. Jared, I'm taking the leaf out of your book. On Jared Fritz, doesn't let go.
And no one comes to help him. And
Nobody,
Jared's lovely. I've met Jared. Jared's such a sweetheart. And I'm like, I was quite sad for him last night when I watched that.
and not even Magic Jake, because he wanted to get out of there quick.
Yeah, he was kind of like, oh well, not my problem anymore.
Yeah, YP, Jared, your problem. It was basically what was happening. Yeah, and then it faded.
And he just didn't let go though. And he goes into that little, I
Yeah.
don't know, Baron von Storm headspace or whatever. Like they're going, oh, look of ecstasy on his face. And I'm like, not sure if it's ecstasy. It's certainly something though. Um, he's a freaking maniac.
He is. He is an out of control, unhinged.
And they were calling for help and calling for help. And they're like, oh, we'll find out later. And then, as usual with NWA, you don't find out what later because when they come back, another match is on. And so we don't know if Jared's okay. We don't know how the claw was released. We don't know if Jax came out. We don't know if the referees got maybe he just used so much power that he got weak and he eventually weakened his grip and poor Jared was lying like that for like 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't know.
We don't know what happened at the end of that. It did fade to black, but it actually faded to Jim Mitchell
It did indeed.
and Carson Drake. Carson Bartholomew Drake, CBD. Isn't that something
That's a
like that?
drink. That's like CB. I have CBD drinks.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen him before.
It's the non-high stuff of weed, basically. You've got THC, which is the stuff that gets you high, and then you've got the CBD.
Which is Carson Bartholomew Drake. Anytime now that you drink that.
What made
Unfortunately,
me think of that?
or his little dance. What was it? I don't know. What was it?
No, no.
Can't sing, can't dance. Hella waits, Carson Drake. I'm assuming now this is going to be next week potentially. I don't know. The rematch with Max the Impaler, hella waits, no count out, no DQ. Carson
I can't see him coming out alive from this one, to be honest.
alive. The only thing I can see potentially here is perhaps Jim Mitchell costing Max the match because there's been a bit of
A little bit of tension there.
there has been recently. Perhaps that's the only way Carson gets out alive.
I can't see Max dropping that belt to Carson. Is it a title match though?
Yeah,
So I don't know though.
but it is the men's
Max is
title, right?
so unpredictable, so unpredictable. But there also appears, like we've just said, to be pretty pissed off with Jim Mitchell. I don't know if I get where you're coming from. Potentially Jim Mitchell ringside, Max getting involved in a conversation, maybe a roll up, or I don't know. I think that's realistically I can see that being the only way that Carson's going to win this match. I'm sorry, Carson, but I don't fancy your chances. Now, you might prove me wrong. Who knows?
It might be hashtag it's him next week. Well, as long as we don't even know that it's next week. I mean, we're just making it's an assumption that I made based on the promo airing. But yeah, Hella waits Carson Drake, very Carson Bartholomew Drake. Sorry, as he now wants to be
He's
called.
getting his full name.
Getting his full name in there. Yeah, Hella waits you next week, my friend. Or Hella waits you at some point, my friend. Good luck when that happens. Now, main event time. I thought this was going to be the Country Gentleman versus the.
Well, it kind of was to a certain degree.
Well, it was Casey Cazana, but it wasn't AJ, who's just recently returned from the UK. For those of you that remembering from ours, it wasn't AJ. It was Joe.
Daddy Joe.
Daddy Joe comes out of retirement with Casey to go to Slimeball City this week. I love the fact that Joe started off a bit of a bitch slap and then runs away and makes a tag.
Yeah, very quickly. And at which point though, and it was noted by Joe on comms that because AJ doesn't have his manager's license, he was not allowed to be present ringside. So AJ actually had to leave the arena for that. So he wasn't even around to get involved, which is probably a good thing for the Slime Balls, let's be honest.
Probably a good thing. Yeah, I did like this. It was a bit of a comedy thing in there as well. We
It
always
was fun. It was really fun. And it's nice. I actually, Tommy and Sage are growing on me.
They are. They're growing on me. I mean, I've liked them just because of Slimeball City and all of that sort of stuff and the funny stuff that we had. They're a very good team. Casey did take control early on this. There was a few tags to Joe during this match. However, Joe Cazana gets a little bit too cocky.
He gets a little bit sneaky in that corner.
Mm. He does. However, the sneakiness and cockiness, as they always say, cheaters never prosper, and they didn't prosper because he got rolled up for a free count.
He never saw it coming either. And that's after he was in the corner biting Sage.
He was biting Sage. It
Biting Sage's head. I was
sounds
like,
like
you
he's doing
hungry,
a
mate?
satanic. Sounds like he's
Sinking his
doing.
teeth in.
Sounds like he's doing a satanic ritual. Sage, you throw Sage over a haunted house, right, to cleanse it. Isn't that what they? Is that what they do? I'm sure I've seen some paranormal.
Sage. You burn Sage.
Burn Sage. That's well, he was biting him. And he wasn't burning him. He was biting him. Anyway, the country gentlemen weren't very happy, shall we say?
Oh my God, after the bell went and the Slime Balls get the win, that was it. Casey and Joe just go Tonto and start attacking the two of them.
That's right. And then they go to Danny over on at the desk or where Carl's meant to be. We hope Carl's better for
I
Sam.
know, I hope Kyle's all right.
Hope,
Poor guy.
hope
I'm sure
Carl's
he'll be back soon.
hopefully Salwin, hopefully next week for Salwin. And then they basically say that they would like a 6-person or 6-man tag. So it's going to be at Salwin, the Country Gentleman and Joe Cazana versus the Slime Balls and question mark. That's a great wrestler, question mark.
Question mark used to be in the NWA.
Did he? I didn't even know that.
So this would have been before your time, but question mark appeared in NWA. Sadly, he's no longer with us. He passed away a couple of years ago. But if you look around the power station, you will see in amongst the flags a black and yellow flag with the question mark in it.
Brilliant. That's a shame because it's a shame, obviously, he's passed away, but it's also a shame because he could have done this. I'm going for Mike Mondo to be the part.
We did see that he would be coming to NWA, didn't we, somewhere?
And he's constantly tweeting NWA. I don't know if he's actually signed for the NWA, but he's definitely making some noise.
Rainbows, that would be interesting.
He was a part of the Spirit Squad.
He was indeed. He was
He's
indeed.
jacked now. I mean,
Haven't seen him for a while, so
yeah, I mean, he was on this show, and he sent me a picture to use to post out, saying when they're coming on. Jeez, he's jacked. Like,
okay, that's interesting.
compared to Mikey of the Spirit Squad, compared to Mike Mondo, they're just two different people. That's what I'm going for anyway. I might be wrong. I could be wrong on that, but I'm going for Mike Mondo.
That could be interesting. I think if they've got AJ in the mix as well, is it a title match? No, it won't be if it's a 6-man. If it's a 6-man, it won't be.
Shouldn't be, should it? I'm going to double check though, because I
But
did.
I think Joe will be looking for revenge on this for certain, as will his boys. I'm pretty sure AJ and Casey are not amused at the fact that their father got rolled up. So
Definitely, yeah. They're not going to be happy with that whatsoever. Let me see. Did they? No, it's just a six-person tag. That's all it is.
okay.
No titles on that one. But we have,
That'll be fun. That's maybe a couple of weeks away, or maybe we'll see it next week, depending on what's what.
yeah, I mean, there's 12, 13, 14 matches on Samhain. So how many is that going to be a week? 4, 8, 12, 4, 3. Could be some threes and some fours.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that next week, though, Samhain. It's just a shame we can't do predictions and all that sort of stuff because it's not one of, as you said before, it's just a shame that you don't do the one event thing that we can do.
Yeah, so we can't, yeah, because we don't know when, well, we don't know when they're going to air or whatever. So
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, before we obviously we're going to break it shortly, we're going to talk about what's going on in people's worlds, but that wasn't the end of
it
N.
was, and honestly, like, if you switched this show off after that final match ended, you missed one of the most glorious things I have ever seen in my life.
It was the Immortals rapping, ladies and gentlemen.
It was brilliant. Kratos rapping, best thing I've seen in ages, honest to God. I
So
need more of that in my life.
I was going to audition to be a spectacular, but they've kind of filled that position now. Like, I'm going to audition to be an immortal now because
Okay.
oh, what you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do? Right? Come on, that is God.
That's not bad actually, I'll give you that.
That isn't bad. That is not bad at all. I think I should be an honorary immortal. We'll find out what Kratos and Odysseus thinks when that
Hopefully get them on the show soon.
we'll get him on the show. We'll get him on the show soon, and we'll also clip that to X. I'm sure that's going to be one of those things on my birthdays in years to come that gets
That
played.
people will remind you of. Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to do the viewing figures as per we normally do. I should write these down. I was going to see if
I
like
never do it. I'm terrible for it.
I did do going on it before we come on. I'm just going to do it now
The
quickly.
engagement on X, though, in terms of the posts and the comments and the likes, seems to be really quite decent.
Hmm. So 64K views at time of us recording 7:30 on
Okay.
Wednesday. So 64K in a day, not even a day, is pretty good going.
For
Uh,
NWA, absolutely, considering I think the previous viewing figures were a fair chunk lower.
hmm. So I'm going to try and remember that. I've written it down on my notes, but I won't be using this book next week. So I've got to try and remember. It's
And
actually,
it very much looks like that X is going to be the home for the foreseeable, for now anyway.
thank God for that. I
I
like
know people are leaving in droves to go over to Blue Sky. We are on Blue Sky. You will find HTTP there.
and our separate accounts are on Blue Skies, but we do have a
But I'm glad it's on an accessible platform. I know that, like I said, I know people are leaving X, but I actually think that potentially the X streaming, like live streaming video side of things,
yeah,
is potentially going to boom. And it's probably a good thing
yeah.
that they're there just now before it, if it does explode in a good way. I mean, not in a bad way, obviously, but.
Indeed. So you can watch NWA on X every Tuesday, 6:05 Eastern, 11:05 UK time, if you're in Pacific Central Time.
And what I like about it as well is when it's on, you can pause it.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch it, even though it's live, so to speak. It's not like you have to watch the whole episode through
No.
and then rewind it. You can pause and restart and stuff. And I actually quite like that aspect of it.
Yeah, that is very good because, if you do things like you're working or something like that, you've got to
There's like a couple of times last night I missed something and I was like, and I just rewound it a little bit to watch it again.
yeah,
So it was
exactly.
really handy for that rather than waiting for it to be pinned to the top of the page and then watch it again.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of good things about it going on X. As I say, and as you say, and also because of viewing figures as well. It's obviously great for everybody. It's a universal thing, so it's good. that it's on X and keep it on X for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Please, NWA, I would prefer it for sure. Anyway, you've had a week or so off. I saw a little thing to see you have a sold out show coming up.
We do. There's so much exciting stuff coming up. So where are we? This is Wednesday. So Friday night, PBW are in Dumbarton for our Christmas Dumbarton show or our end of year Dumbarton show. That's looking close to being a sellout. Tickets available from insideworld.co.uk. That's always an absolute banger. I love Dumbarton. It's just in like the community sports hall or whatever, but it's always a really loud crowd, always a sellout. They're always up for a good night, and the guys and girls always put on an amazing show. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's Friday night. Saturday night, I'm with Pro Wrestling Scotland in New Mains. That is going to be another belter. We have got who's coming up? We've got Harley Hudson, we've got Lizzie Evo, who else? Joey Hayes is up. Or no, maybe Joey Hayes is in next weekend, but there's a couple of bodies up that I haven't seen for a little while on Saturday. So that'll be fun. Again, that's ringsideworld.co.uk for tickets. But yeah, next weekend in my hometown, my baby, British Championship Wrestling, sold out this afternoon in my favourite venue of all time. It is just the Ballarop Hall. It's a little community hall in my town. I love it. It's really hard to explain, but it's one of these venues where you can maybe cram several hundred folk into it. There's no barriers. It's a huge family show, so everyone gets involved. But when the action spills out of the ring, and believe me, at BCW, it always does, they are right on top of you.
Lovely.
Right on top of you. And in some cases, quite literally on top of you, like sitting in your lap, getting chopped and stuff. I love that venue. Everybody that I know that's wrestled there loves that venue, just for the fact that you're right in amongst it and amongst the fans. So the fact that it's sold out, I'm delighted for Graham Mackay. Delighted for myself because it's my hometown and I get to MC it and host it. So super, super excited for that.
Should be a fun show for sure. And obviously, 2025, you've got a few inside the ropes bits.
We've got some great stuff lined up. We've got JR coming to the country at the end of January, 29th or 30th, 31st and 1st, or how many days? 30 days have January? 31, 30th, 31st and 1st. So I'm doing the little 30 days have September rhyme in my head there. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, London, Manchester, Glasgow. I cannot wait. I actually spoke to JR just via message the other day just to say I was looking forward to seeing him, and it's been too long. So again, I think I'd said this last week. The last time we did shows with him, he wasn't involved with the AEW, so there's a whole new set of stories to tell. Obviously, talk to him about his health issues and things like that. So really, really excited for that. We've also got Million Dollar Man in March, I believe.
Yep.
Whether I will be involved in that or not, I don't know. I have other plans round about the same time, so might not be there. Definitely at Glasgow. What's that?
I was just saying to Kenny if he needs anyone to help for the $1 million.
Hey, you never know. I'll definitely be at the Glasgow show. Unfortunately, I have pretty much used up my entire year's worth of annual leave allocation. It doesn't renew until the 1st of April, and I already have 2 weeks off in March to hopefully go back to Texas. So I don't think I'll be getting another week off in March, basically.
Well, what a shame that there, but there's still two fantastic events for Inside the Ropes, itrtix.com to get
Absolutely. So
£5.
they're on Twitter. There's two separate Twitter pages now. I can't remember the handles, but if you search for Inside the Ropes, you'll find one page is dedicated purely to the news sources, and the other page is dedicated to the live events and the magazine. So there are two different pages. If you search for them and be like, why is there two? They are both legit. They're both real.
And they will be, and just go and follow them. They're brilliant show. And just a shout out to our good buddy Eric Bischoff because he's going to be on NXT next week.
I did not know that. Okay, that's exciting.
He's also going to be doing MLW as well. He's doing a show.
I did see that one, yeah.
He's going to be doing NXT. Yeah, he's going to be on NXT next week. So we're going to watch that. I need to do a couple of bits now myself. Just bear with me. Oh, by the way,
how did Ignite go?
Sunday. I just had to get into it. It's going to be able to get into it.
Okay.
Probably one of the best British independent main events that you'll ever see between Tommy Kyle and Spike Trevay that last just this weekend just gone. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Spike Trevay, you know what? Big respect to that guy because I mean he had the crowd in the palm of his hand. But Ignite crowd, do not take the piss out of bald people ever again. Right, there is nothing wrong with being bald. Yes, we're cold, as Spike said. We are cold. All right.
I'll lend you a hat. I've got plenty.
Yeah. Anyway, but he was in all seriousness, it was fantastic. They have the kids banging on the ring at the end of the show where
I
Tom,
did see a photo of that.
that was incredible for Tommy Cole to retain the Ignite Championship. However, there is some controversy with our championship. So some
I was going to ask, I haven't actually seen the result. How did Mr. True get on?
well, Mr. True was successful with his partner Kieran Lacey against close personal friends. However, it was more to do with what he done at the end of Ignite, which was threw the belt at me and said he wasn't showing up in February. And
Okay. You
at the
can strip
moment,
him with the title, can you not?
well, we're going to let cooler heads prevail. We're going to wait it out, get Christmas out of the way, and maybe Mark True gets a kiss under the mistletoe from somebody and decides that, he wants to bring the championship back with him in February. Well, he threw it at me. He's gone now with Ignite Management. So I don't know if Mark will be in February or not. We're going to wait until January to find out. But he did retain the championship. But more importantly, Ignite have announced that well, a massive debut for February. February 9th, Chapter 4. You may have seen him on AEW Collision. You may have seen him over in Uganda. The greatest professional wrestler that ever lived. Ignite are going to be treated to Tateness is greatness as
Glorious.
Tate Mayfair's makes his Ignite debut. I know he's got gold in his sights, but he hasn't said which one or what he's going to go for yet. But also, just a note on that Truman Roswell, you absolute bitch. You hit in the retired Ignite general manager CJ Carter at the end of your loss just because he counted to three because the referee took a chair shot to the head. Yes, chair shot to the head. He decided to attack the retired Ignite general manager CJ Carter. So I wouldn't want to be you, son, if you show up in February. I wouldn't recommend showing up in February, but you may well do. Anyway, that was Ignite. Go and if you want to come to see Chapter 4, go to Eventbrite, type in Chapter 4. I would.
Sounds like there was a little bit of drama there then.
Oh, loads of stuff. I mean, there was tables, chairs, trash cans, kendo sticks, you name it. Yeah, it was brilliant though. Loved it. What excellent show. Coming up on the podcast just quickly, Fuego del Sol will be coming on tomorrow night. Tomorrow at the time we'll be recording with him tomorrow night. You'll see that next week. Andy is back this coming weekend after the Commanders or devastating loss to the Cowboys. I had to get it in.
I say nothing. I'm
I had to get
sorry. I
I
can't
would,
laugh. I'm a Cowboys fan and they're shit, right? But we beat the Commanders. Get in.
yeah.
That was a hell of an ending to that match. I watched it.
There you go. We'll be back just that he's going to come do Survivor Series with me. So we're going to be watching Survivor Series this coming weekend. He will be there and HTTB will two extremely interesting guests. The clue is in the word extreme. More on that when I can give it to you. Go. What?
No, I was just going to say one more thing as well, which we haven't spoken about. Was it yesterday? Yeah. ICW up in Scotland have announced that NWA World Champion Tom Latimer will be appearing in January at their Square Go. Their Square Go. I have been to many, many Square Goes over the years, although it has been a while. Pretty much the Glaswegian equivalent of the Royal Rumble with weapons. So 10 entrants get a lucky dip and get to bring out a weapon. It could be something as simple as a bacon tray. One year it was a magic flying carpet for someone. But then it could be a barbed wire battered covered baseball bat or whatever. Yeah, I hope Tom is still NWA World Championship. I will be going to that show to see him in action. I am super excited. Also, he's 5 years sober to date. Well in, Tom.
Well done, Tom. That is a big one. Galaxy for you when you come down and you've got to bribe him, by the way.
I'll do my best.
Also come up on the show, Jack Torino. So some of you will know if you've watched Ignite, and Fee, well, I don't think you would have seen him. No,
I don't think he was there.
no, he wasn't, because he was a part of the rebellion with Taylor James. Taylor James turned on him earlier on this year. Jack has requested to come on in a couple of weeks, and I don't know what he wants to talk about, but he wants to come on and talk about stuff. And then Hitting the Turnbuckle Hitting the Road. Coming up over Christmas, we're going to be seeing RCWA in December. We're going to go to our first ever Riot Cabaret show.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm a little bit jealous about that. That always looks like a good night out.
Me and Rachel heading over to Clapham Grand. Good big Clapham Grand, an old place of Inside the Ropes.
It is indeed, yeah. It's a
I've
beautiful venue. We
been,
did Jericho in there.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's met Jericho.
We
And
did
Michael.
Jericho in there.
Sure,
I think
Michael.
we might have done Shawn Michaels in there
We
as
did.
well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, my mum met him as well in there. And thanks to the Ministry of Wrestling podcast for that. By the way, that's we're looking forward to meeting you guys there and having an early Christmas, festivities with you guys. And then after Christmas, Ignite are on the road. Myself, CJ, Rachel, and Dan from Ignite will be heading over to Prodigy Pro Wrestling over in Hockley. We're going to be potentially looking for some breakout stars. So, we'll be seeing you all there. I hope to see you all there. Go on those websites. I think Riot may well be sold out. I'll be able to talk more about that next week, actually, because I'll have an idea of who's going and what's happening and who's going to be there. Thunder Rosa was there last time. That's all I remember. With Nina Samuels.
Miss
But
her in NWA.
yes. But Fee, as always, next week is Samhain. So are we going to do this next week?
I think we will.
Will you wear a mask? It's Halloween, right? No?
Do you want me to?
Have you got one?
I have several.
Okay. Maybe.
It's up to you. You tell me. If you want me to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask.
You go nuts. Go crazy.
I could have a delayed Halloween next week.
I think we should. I mean, I don't know if I've got anything, but I could find something, I suppose. We can do one next week for Halloween, as it's going to be the Halloween Christmas celebration, right? Samhain. That's what
Okay.
Get your thinking cap on.
Oh, it's on. If you're watching right now, you can probably see the little cogs in my brain going,
You probably can. But guys, until then, unless you watch the rest of the other shows we have dropping this week, she has been Miss Fiona Loughran. I have been your host, Adam Cousins, and you have been watching the NWA review on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And until Samhain, everybody, buckle down, stay safe. Bye-bye.